back to the vlog. I'm Gabby from Gabberdashery, and today we are going to be sewing because it is the last of the patterns from Tilly and the button stretch. And today I'm making the last dress, which is the Joni dress. Yay! Woo, woo, woo. I really love this dress on so many people, but I have to say I'm not 100% convinced it's for my body type and style. So I have yet to be convinced, but I am going in guns a-blazing hoping that I am wrong about that, because I really love the idea of it suiting me. I'm just not sure it will. So yeah, it's a bit of a kind of a shake it and see kind of situation. But I said I was going to make all the patterns from this book for a reason, and that is that every single pattern in this book has given me a new skill and taught me something. And that is without fail, actually. They really have all taught me something. And I think this is going to teach me the most because of that great twist. The twist to the tail, which is quite literally a twist. Yes, the twist in the bodice is going to be something that I've never done before. Really interested to see how that comes together. Apart from that, it should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to do it all on the Overlocker. There's quite a lot of see-through elastic in it, so that will be quite interesting because I've only used it on the shoulder seams before. Oh, I have used it for a waistband. Okay, yeah, I've used it quite a bit before, but anyway, just the construction looks quite interesting. And I've been a good girl. I've been reading through. I've just had the most amazing weekend in Margate, well, bank holiday Sunday and Monday, with a group of sewing girls. And we did some sewing yesterday, and I got a chance to kind of sit down as well and have a look at the instructions before I make this today. But yeah, it was so lovely. The weather's been gorgeous. I mean, I always have to position the camera away from the sun because otherwise it's like, but right to the left of me is a big window, and it is so sunny out there. It's amazing. And the moment I'm done with Joni, I'm going to be back in there gardening, because I wait till the evening to garden when it's really hot. And today it was about 26 degrees, so that's too hot for me to garden. So I wait till it's about 20, 21, 22, and get out there. And then I'm going to be planting new plants that we got on the weekend. Yeah, it's looking really lovely. I might have to do a garden tour. Maybe alongside my summer house tour I can show you the garden as well. But I'm sorry I didn't do this last week. It got a bit crazy as always. So I'm doing it now, and I'm really excited about wearing Joni. And then it means that I can do my kind of overall feeling on the book and show you all the garments kind of together, and also kind of mingling them, because I definitely think the Frankie's going to go with the BB, and yeah, that might be about it. Oh, and the Stella joggers. Yeah, okay, that might be it. But I think it will be really nice to kind of go through them all together. And then on to Pastures New. I've got new projects in mind, new things I want to show you. Can't wait to show you where we're up to on the summer house, because it looks amazing, but I still have a lot to sort out, so I've got to do that first. But anyway, right, okay, I'm gonna start making this bad boy. Oh, the fabric, the fabric! Da, da, da. How could I forget the fabric? So, of course, Girl Charlee. This is lovely, lovely cotton lycra, and it's called quatrefoil. So it's a really interesting print. I absolutely love it, and I love this green. And I think I've told you this quite a few times, like every time I talk about fabric. I don't have many greens in my wardrobe. I'm not, it isn't something I gravitate to that much, but when it's bright green like this, I do. I think, yes, I really want this. So, oh, I'm really excited. It's going to have a big old twist in it, and that will be the front bodice. But yeah, it's all cut out and ready to go, so I'm just going to start. See you in a bit. Oh, I just remembered a tip. Now, Claire from Beautiful Things talked about this in her vlog, and I'm really pleased I saw it before I started making this. In the cutting out guide, and there's a little kind of cutting, fabric cutting layout bit, and it says to snip extra notches at the center of the back bodice neckline and the center of the neckband. And to be honest, without Claire saying that, I wouldn't have necessarily read that bit. So that's really, really important apparently later on. So yes, if you're making this, just make sure you make little notches in the middle of the waistband? No, neckband. In the middle of the neckband, so there and there where the fold is, and in the back bodice right in the middle of the neckline there. You see what I mean? Yeah, really, really good tip, I think. I haven't got to that bit yet, but that's what Claire says, so I'm trusting you on this one, Claire. Guys, it's broken. The top of the overlocker that holds the threads together is broken. Oh dear me. Right, so I am going to do it on my sewing machine after all. So like a complete ninny, I forgot that I basically have a second overlocker because the cover stitch is also an overlocker. That's why it's called a coverlock. So I threaded it up. It did take me a little while because it's very complicated, but it's really well laid out in the manual, and I just followed it and straight away it worked first time. And actually on my other overlocker, I had to thread it about 6 times first time for it to work, so I'm pleased about that. And it does seem to be absolutely lovely. I've just been doing some like test stitches, and they're really lovely. They stretch beautifully. They look great. So I'm really, really happy with that actually. So I'm kind of pleased in a weird way that this has happened, because it's kind of making me get the most out of this machine, and I can't believe I haven't really done that yet, but I've just been a bit hesitant to, because changing over between the overlocker and the cover stitch is just quite long-winded, and you need to change the needles and you need to change the threading. So it's kind of laziness, isn't it? Whoops. But anyway, so now I'm ready to go. I've got on the back bodice, I have cut 2 pieces of clear elastic, and I'm going to join the front bodice to the back bodice at the shoulder seams with the clear elastic. Tilly recommends this, so I'm going to move that out of the way because I think that's quite bright. Tilly recommends this, so I think I've done it before on another pattern actually, and I was like, oh yeah. So if you're overlocking, not using a sewing machine, but just overlocking this seam, and you are basically joining shoulder seams together that need clear elastic, you can do it all at the same time. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make sure I've got this the right way up because I'm getting a bit confused. Okay, so someone the other day asked how I know the seam allowance on my overlocker, and on the other overlocker it is actually marked on the stitch plate here. There's just little lines and you can measure them if you're not too sure. But there wasn't here, so I put on a bit of masking tape. That's just a bit of masking tape, and I have measured, and I've used a bit of fabric to make sure it's exactly right, 1.5 centimeters. And drawn a little dash, so I know where to line up my seam allowance. Hello again everyone. I thought I would reintroduce because I have come back 2 days since I was last filming, because yeah, I was not at all here yesterday. I was helping friends with babies, so a lot of friends with babies going on at the moment, and soon to be another. Megan's gonna be giving birth any day now. But yes, so that was kind of crazy, and I haven't sewn since I spoke to you 2 days ago, but I also dyed my hair. Because basically I realised that after nearly a month of having brunette hair that I just need to have a colour. It doesn't even need to be that bright a colour, I just need to have a colour to kind of help me match to things, and I was finding that not a colour. So I've gone this kind of deep raspberry, which I really, really like actually. I love how well it goes with my Bloomsbury blouse in my Pigeon Wishes fabric. So yeah, and already this morning I just felt so much happier with this hair, and getting dressed in the morning was more fun again, so yay! Right, anyway, sewing. What have I done? Oh, I've unpicked because I did the wrong thing. I started, because it said to attach the clear elastic on the back when you join at the shoulder seams, I just assumed that meant do that now. It doesn't, by the way, just don't do that. So I did join the shoulder seams and put the clear elastic, and then I realised my mistake. So I've unpicked one because I think I can do it with just one unpicked and I don't need to do them both. Because of course you're going to sew them together at some point, but you need to do the twist first. So I think that will work. If not, I'll have to unpick it, the second one as well, but that's good for now. I've also stitched, always hard to say, the front, can you see there, and there, because they're obviously going to become a bit of the twist. And then now I am going to, at the centre of the neckline and the centre front seam, clip into the seam allowance at each twist notch. So there's twist notches here and here, so I'm going to clip them all the way to the stay stitching, and then fold them over, sew them down and do the twist. So I'll film myself doing this if I think it's interesting. I'll show it, if not I'll put it in fast forward, and I probably will like talk to myself, so you'll get kind of thing. Yeah, okay, right, let's do this. So I push the machine back. I'm gonna read the instructions over and over again to check that I'm not doing it wrong. Okay, the twist. So it says, lay the bodice out flat with the right side, nice side, facing up. Use your fingers to gather together the fabric between the centre of the neckline and the centre of the front seam, like so. Holding this fabric together with one hand, use the other hand to flip the right hand side of the bodice from top to bottom over to the wrong side, like so. Flip it over once more from top to bottom so that it's now right sides together. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's it. So I hope you followed that. Okay, and then pin the centre front seams together from the clipped notches, so like so. There's the notches. Okay. Okay, the twist stopped. Okay, so I am just going to overlock this seam that I've just made. I've checked on the other side that that looks okay, and it does. So I guess the top will make sense eventually as well, because at the moment it doesn't fully. Oh yeah, it's going to do that. Okay, so for now though, I'm just going to finish. For now though, sorry, I'm just going to finish off this seam. Hard to know how to do this, to be honest, because there's a big knot in the way. Twist. Okay, that's better. Okay, lay the front bodice over the back bodice. I've already done this bit, I think. Right sides together, pin them together at the shoulder seams, matching notches. Okay, so I've already done that one. Let's now do this one. Okay, so I have sewn, overlocked the 2 shoulder seams now, well, the second one now. So that is ready to go. And now this is getting quite interesting. So I'm going to move you back. Oh, it's heavy, this one. Okay. Now, the hidden neckline binding. The binding attached to the front neckline notch 1.5 centimeters past it. So I'm going to put a pin in that there. Right sides together, running up the raw edges. Position the end of the binding so it overlaps. Yep. Fold the end of the binding around the snipped notch to the wrong side of the bodice. Oh, okay, fair enough. Sorry, I didn't do that. Like so. Pin in place. So, like that. Okay, and then pin all the way around. My battery is about to die and I have 3 dead batteries that I haven't charged. So I am going to carry on and I will catch up with you when the batteries are charged, but I need to carry on sewing, sorry guys. This bit, I will tell you the bits that were tricky. Okay. Hey guys, I'm so sorry about yesterday. I ran out of batteries. I've never done that before. I've got 3 spare batteries. Well, I have, yeah, 3 batteries for this camera. And normally I'm kind of charging them as, you know, as they run out. But because I was away at the beginning of the week, I basically hadn't done that, and I didn't realise that. I thought, yeah, I've got loads of batteries, loads of, you know, room, and of course I didn't at all. So I had to carry on. I'm really sorry. I wanted to kind of wait and film it all with you and kind of, you know, hold your hand through the process, but I did have to carry on. I had to sew yesterday because it was like my sewing window and I really wanted to get this finished, so I hope you'll forgive me. But I'll just talk you through where we got to with the neckband. So I was just folding it over the notch in the neckline, and then you do the same on the other side and then pin it the whole way round and then sew the binding to the neckline. And I used an overlocker for that, but you can use the sewing machine on a zigzag stitch, and then you press it in and you roll it under ever so slightly and then you top stitch, and I did the zigzag stitch like so. So I could have used the cover stitch at this point, and that's kind of one thing that the cover stitch is really good for, is necklines. But I couldn't, well, basically it's going to take me about 20 minutes to change over from the overlocker to the cover stitch because I haven't really done it before. I need to properly read the instructions and I probably need to do it a few times to get it right. So I just didn't have that time, and I had to edit the podcast and all that stuff was going on at the same time. So I basically decided to top stitch instead and keep the cover stitch as an overlocker. Oh, this is getting confusing. So now the bits for my overlocker have arrived to fix it. You remember the broken bit? So now I can do that. I can change that back to a cover stitch, leave it as a cover stitch, and finish off the rest of my dress. So I have done a lot since I've basically finished it, and I really, really love it. I'm so excited about it. So I've put in the sleeves and I've put in the skirt, and I did the adding the clear elastic at this stage as well because I was using the overlocker for it. So as you can see, let me just get a bit that looks a bit better. We're choosing the best bit to show you. So yeah, there is the clear elastic in there. And you don't stretch it out like you would something like a Minetta dress or whatever. You just literally place in the clear elastic while you're sewing the bodice to the skirt seam. So now I've just literally got to hem it. So I'm going to get the cover stitch back to being a cover stitch and hem up the sleeves and the base, and then show you, and then yay, I get to kind of parade around in it, and I'm really, really excited because I have tried it on and my husband really likes it, and he's a good test for these things because there's definitely been some makes that he's like, oh, I don't know about that. So he's quite honest, which is great, and he really likes this one. So yes, I hope you do too. I feel like I've set the bar really high now. Oh dear, don't expect too much, but I really like it and I hope you will too. Okay guys, I'm gonna finish this off. I'll see you in a bit. Bye. It's done. Yay. I love Joni. I was totally wrong about it. It's the perfect dress for me. It is so good for slightly bigger busted ladies. It's really flattering on the neckline, and I love the sleeves and the kind of flounciness. It's like enough flair for it to be kind of fun and flirty but not feel like you're really dressed up. Like I would wear this just any normal day. Yeah, I love her. Sorry, she's already got a Hobbs hair on her. What can I tell you about this? The fabric is absolutely beautiful. Girl Charlie, you've done it again. I have been looking at getting quatrefoil fabric since I started sewing, so, you know, 3 and a bit years. And I'm so pleased I finally got it because I just love this print. I think it's so striking and beautiful. The green is stunning, and although I necessarily wouldn't say it's a first choice for hair colour like mine, I actually think it goes really well, and I think I'm gonna look for more green because I really like wearing green actually, so it has taught me a lot, this project. I cover stitched all the hems, so you can see there. Da-da-da. The sleeves are ever so slightly tight. I think next time I'll give them just a little bit more wiggle room, especially up here. But that's going to depend on the stretchiness, and this is not super duper stretchy. It's like a nice amount of stretch, but it's not like, you know, it's like, but it's lovely and sturdy, so it feels really good for this, especially with this twist. I love the twist. I think it's such a unique, wonderful little detail. And I'll show you around the back. I didn't worry too much about pattern matching. I didn't want it to be a complete mix match, so I tried to make sure that some bits matched up. But because it's such a kind of big print, I knew that it wouldn't kind of make too much sense. I mean, I don't think it'd even be possible, especially places like, you know, doing the twist in the middle. It actually isn't possible to do too much pattern matching, so I think this is fine. At least the line seems to be running correctly down. I haven't actually seen the back, so I'll watch this footage back and be like, no it's not, but I hope it's running back down the line. And yeah, so I really wanted to make sure of that, and you can't really see that there's seams places, which is great. Oh, I just love it. I'm really happy, and now I have done all the patterns from the Tilly book, so the only thing left for me to do is to do a very quick vlog of a kind of a roundup of each of them, which will be really fun, and I'm gonna hopefully do a photo shoot over the weekend if my husband is willing, of like all of the different makes, and so that I've got a nice photo shoot of them for my blog as well. But yeah, very happy. Yay! Thank you Tilly for a fantastic book. Thank you so much to Mark and everyone at Girl Charlie for the lovely fabrics for making it, and thank you to all of you for watching my journey with the stretch book. Alright guys, I will see you next week. Take care, lots of love.